Hello everyone and welcome back for another edition of 8 Minutes with Aaron. I'm of course your host Aaron, and today, as promised in one of the videos that I talked about in before, we are going to talk about my stay in Florida at the hotel I stayed at, which is called the Holiday Inn Express. So let's get rolling with a fresh edition of this guy right here, Aaron. Before we jump into my stay in Florida at Cape Coral at the Holiday Inn Hotel, let me tell you about most of the hotels that I've spent in. They were usually after or before the Folk Fest, or during sometimes, once I got kind of older, where me, my dad, and my brother, we'd share a room, we'd go to the Folk Fest, we'd leave at night, and da-da-da-da-da. Now I just camp there, and there is no hotel, no fresh showers, none of that, unless maybe I go to the gym before my shift at, main gate or something like that. So me and my family, we went to Florida and we stayed at the Holiday Inn. Now, do I have high expectations of hotels? You're damn right I have high expectations. If I'm paying a premium price for a room, I better get the works. So of course, I always want to make sure that I get a continental breakfast. We'll get to that continental breakfast in a second. So let's talk about the room. The room was pretty nice. You got the two beds. I shared a room with my mom because I wanted to give my dad a little bit of break. He's with her every single day. So I said, Dad, you get a good night's sleep. I'll deal with Mamacito. So me and my mom shared a room, watched some funny stuff, Family Guy and shit on the TV. Everything was great. I'm going to give it its first up because opposed to the one that was in Los Angeles during Funko Fun Days, this air conditioning unit went below 72, and I could put it at a nice 70 or 68. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I do take advantage of that because when we're at my crib and stuff like that, I don't raise it above 77. So it is quite warm in here sometimes. Anyway, so I gave that thing an up. Then it came down to the amenities in the restroom facility. There was no soap, no toothpaste, no free toothbrush, none of that shit. If you wanted it, you needed to go downstairs and request it. Well, if I came in from a long trip and shit like that, I want it available to me now. Plus the fact that I wanted to find the refrigerator, it wasn't where the normal refrigerator should be, like underneath the TV or shit like that. It was at the front of the door, and I was like, what? So for that, the amenities, I needed to go downstairs. Oh, and the fact that the bar of soap was probably like this big that they give you. I'm going to have to go down a few times for that son bitch. It's getting it down. That's right, it is getting it down. Now the beds. My mom wasn't digging the bed. She said it was too firm. I thought it was okay, and I actually did like the fact that they gave you two sets of pillows. They gave you two hard pillows and two softer pillows. So that's pimp. I have to get that. And good job with the, differentiating and saying, hey, man, if you don't like this pillow. Now, could there have been a middle? I would love the middle pillow that was like soft but kind of firm. Nah, it's okay. I'm not that nitpicky. They did not clean the room. I did put the sign on the door. However, the one day that I did put the sign on the door and we were gone for a nice crisp 3-4 hours, you didn't clean the room in enough time. When I came back, I saw you across the way. For that, you are getting a down. The people at the front desk, I'm going to say you were very helpful. You checked us in real quick. Holiday Inn people at the front desk, you are getting an oh, that's right, you are getting an up. And let's talk about the weight room. Now, when I go on trips, I don't plan on going to the gym. But since this was a family outing, and, I thought people were going to go to bed early, I thought people would be asleep by like 11, 11:30, giving me plenty of an opportunity to go downstairs and go into the gym at the Holiday Inn. Well, I was incorrect. Now, not because I didn't have the time, it was because they had absolutely nothing in the gym. So the first day I went there, I asked the lady, I said, hey, where's the gym at? She's like, yeah, it's over here. I'm like, cool, all right, la 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 la. And I went over and I used my key card to open the door. There were weights that went from, I think, like 2 to 25 pounds. No benches, like where you can like lay back or position yourself to like lift weights like that or anything, this motion and shit. And there were no like benches or bars. I didn't think there were going to be any like benches and shit like that where you're doing like the lifting, where you're laying back. Different than I just said the first time. The one was just a flat bench and then you grab the weights and you do your shit. The other ones where you have the legit thing that's like set up and crap like that and then you're not that one. And Nothing there. And then the cardio machines, they had 3 treadmills that were working and another 3 that were broken. And the screens were broken on the ones that were working, so you couldn't like watch anything on the television screen. Though I had my phone and I could have watched some kind of anime and shit like that. It would be nice to actually watch some television. I don't even watch it at the gym, but I'm on vacation. Hey, things can change. So the workout room and shit like that, down. I brought shoes for absolutely nothing. I didn't use them, didn't wear them, brought my workout gloves. At least they went on a trip, right? And now we need to talk about the continental breakfast. Now look, continental breakfasts are delicious. I like to eat them. I like the various foods that they have. I know it's not, different countries and shit like that with a real continental breakfast, but they have a variety of things. They had cinnamon rolls. They had bagels with cream cheese, plain bagels with cream cheese. They didn't have anything fancy. They had blueberry muffins. No chocolate chip, of course, my fave. Fruit Loops, no Cheerios, which my cousin's kid really likes Cheerios, and he was not digging them Fruit Loops, so down on that bad boy. The pancake machine wasn't working, so I couldn't get any pancakes, and I really wanted a waffle. I wanted some waffles, and I believe my brother, when I asked him whether or not they had a waffle maker, he said, yeah, they got a waffle maker, Aaron. And guess what, there was no waffle maker. I'm very upset about that. Plus, you didn't even come down for breakfast. And the juice machine, I really wanted a chocolate milk. I said that in my other video. No chocolate milk. They had a apple juice, cranberry juice, orange juice, and a water thing. And the coffee maker was pretty cool, even though it was like an 8-ounce cup. It was Colombian coffee, of course, I guess because we're in Florida. I don't know the shit of that. They did have flavored creamer, so that is getting it up. But the food was very bland, very dry. The eggs sucked. The bacon wasn't crispy. They had sausage. I don't really eat sausage and shit like that. So I'm going to say the breakfast foods, very, very, very big down. I was not pleased with that. But I guess the drinks, they didn't have the chocolate milk, which I really was craving. I don't know why I crave chocolate milk on vacations. Because I'm lactose intolerant. I know they're using lactate milk. So that's a big deal, folks. That's a big deal. The coffee kind of saved it because I was really surprised. They had 2. They had hazelnut and they had French vanilla creamer. And it was like a push down thing, like a push, 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 push. So I was like, and yeah, it was delicious. My cousin's wife actually informed me that if you put the creamer in first before your coffee, it tastes so much better. But unfortunately, I didn't do that, and I had like 3 cups in front of me already. Plus, my mug was, like a mug that I bring like to the gym. One of those what the fuck are they called? Protein shake things? Yeah, one of them. So overall, Holiday Inn Express, I'm gonna have to give you this bad boy. Yeah, you're gonna get it down, but hey, you can't win them all. My name is Aaron. Thank you for joining me with 8 Minutes with Aaron. I will see you next time. We'll go more stuff, more things, and of course, more of me. I'll see you later. Goodbye.